Oh, the midweek lives. They have returned. But the
Let's
return
go.
is the return of us returning in the middle of the week. Week
Guys, look
one
at
of
us to an early
yeah,
stream.
you guys get an early
Finally be
stream.
on.
This is very rare, but we're gonna make it a weekly occurrence that we stream midweek. And for the first time that we're returning, it's gonna be a banger. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, starting with obviously Dana White's Contender Series is back on our beautiful screens. And week one did not disappoint. I thought it was a decent episode. We'll talk about every single fight, what we thought went right, what we thought went wrong, one fight in particular. But Sam, how did you enjoy week one?
Yeah, Dana White Contender Series is always super fun to watch for me. Just introducing to new prospects. This is always something I say. If you're trying to get into the UFC, this is a good way to do it. You're going to see some finish. You're going to see a lot of finishes. If you don't see a finish, you're never going to hear about the guy again for the most part, unless it's like an absolute dogfight. And if it's a dogfight, it's a good fight. So you're going to get good fights no matter what happens on Contender Series for the most part. And if you don't get a good fight, you don't have to care about these guys ever again. This was a great episode. I think we had 3 finishes, 1 absolute dogfight, and 1 stinker. I'll happily take that to start the episode.
Yeah.
To start the series, the season, I should say.
Yeah, when we contrasted with last year's week one, it was just night and day. Because last year, no one really seemed to get the memo. And there were 2 fighters on this.
Tsarukyan was week 2 last year, right?
No, he was week 1. But Tsarukyan was the only guy from that week that got a contract. Well, him and Ty Miller.
Ty Miller, yeah. I was going to say, there was one more.
And even then, Ty Miller didn't get a finish. So, for the people that were craving finishes, it was a little bit rough. But this time around, we got 3 finishes. So we were good in that department. But fight number 1 was an interesting one. Joe Kropscott getting it done as the plus, I believe, 280 underdog against John AK-47 Kuhneman. Now, obviously, the biggest moment of this fight came in the final 10 seconds when Kuhneman damn near snapped his arm off the armbar. But yeah, I mean, it was a good win for Kropscott. I don't know if he really deserved the contract. It wasn't like the most entertaining fight. And yes, he did get the armbar. Yes, it should have been a 3rd round sub. I understand that. Kuhneman is crazy as hell for not tapping. I would have tapped. This is like the first time I'll say I would have tapped. Like, I know a lot of people are praising Kuhneman for being a warrior and fighting through it. And, oh, yeah, that's so gritty. That's so cool. Yeah, I totally would have done that. You should have tapped. I don't understand what it does for you. You were going to lose 3-0 on the scorecards anyway. So that's something I was confused by. Hey, John, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. I'm hyped for Talbott versus Figgy, but I wish they gave him someone better. I 1,000% agree. And we'll talk about Talbott and Figgy in a little bit. But Sam, Joe Kropscott getting it done. What'd you think about the first fight of this season of Contender Series?
Yeah, I honestly thought this was an entertaining fight. I don't think it was like the best fight, but you're probably looking like a B-tier fight. Something that usually when it goes to decision, like it's got to be like an absolute banger of a fight or something like that's pretty good for someone to get a contract if it goes to decision. And Kropscott got the contract. I thought he was deserving of it at the end of the day. And I really think that armbar at the end, like my whole thing, like I know he didn't get the finish, but let's be so real. Any 99 times out of 100, he's getting the finish because John Kuhneman is just a dog for that. And I know it makes no sense. I get why you don't tap. You need to go. If this is your one shot to make the UFC, you have to go all out. So I honestly do understand why Kuhneman didn't tap. Will it impact his career? Yeah. Was he going to be out for a while? Probably, yeah. But is it something that Dana White might remember in the future and be like, oh, this guy's a dog. We need a backup fighter. I want him in the UFC. Maybe. Just putting that out there. Not saying it will happen, but I am my thing. I think Kropscott after that performance is deserving of a contract. I don't really know how he's going to fare in the UFC though. I thought Kuhneman won that first round pretty clearly, and Kropscott, it was 1-1 going into round 2. I do like the comeback that Kropscott had, but if you're just going to be fighting better competition than John Kuhneman, then I think at the end of the day, it may not bode well. Unless he finds some like grapplers early on, because I think grappling was a strong suit. I'd love to see him fight. if he gets a grappler first, I think it's going to be a little more favorable for him than if he gets a striker that could take him out round one. So there's a lot more to prove. But I want to get to this comment too. I hate it when people are like, he's a warrior for not tapping. He's putting his career in jeopardy. I understand that, but at the end of the day, like if this is your one shot in front of Dana White in the UFC, in the best promotion in mixed martial arts, I feel like you kind of have to go all out to do whatever you can to just save that. Obviously, it didn't work out for Kuhneman, but at the end of the day, like it's something that people are going to remember. And at the end of the day, if they can just this happens in the real world too. If you do something that people remember for something crazy you do that honestly like impresses people, then I think people are going to remember you for the better. That's the thing. And I think that at the end of the day, like there's going to be some more positivity towards Kuhneman than if he tapped.
Oh, here's my thing on that. I don't think I think you're vastly overestimating what Dana White even remembers at this point in time. He does not remember stuff like that. Like
I know he doesn't, but it's still like
so in the post or press conference, whatever it was after the fights, he said that Kuhneman should have tapped. He literally went out and said, I don't know why you didn't tap. Like, I respect the toughness, but I would have tapped there 100%. It really did not do anything for you.
That's valid. If you want to put it that way, that's valid. But
it really did nothing for Kuhneman to do that.
Yeah.
And if I'm a fighter and I know that if I lose this, I'm going back out on the regional scene, I'm keeping my health intact. Like, I mean, that Kuhneman will view it however he wants to. That's just the way I would view it.
I can see that side too.
I respect the toughness. I just don't think it was smart at all.
I think you got I completely agree that it's not smart. I will say that. I don't think it was the smart decision. I think it's understandable why he didn't tap, but I don't think it's the smart decision. I think that's the best way to phrase it.
Yeah, we'll get into fight number 2 though. Tom Paliarulo. If you guys follow us on our Instagram, I gave y'all the play. Actually, all 3 of us in the war room.
We all agreed on picks.
He was.
By the way, I just want to make a point about picks. Can we just acknowledge that on last Saturday, I had the first ever clean sweep in the war room's history. We just got to acknowledge that real quick.
On stream. So yeah,
I know y'all did. I'm here now. I just need to acknowledge the first ever clean sweep in war room history. Am I down by 15 in picks or 13 in picks? Who cares about that? But anyways, we can go back to war room where we went 4 or 5 last night. So I was impressed.
I think what's even more impressive is that you swept the card and you're still down 13. I
don't know. I got to look back at which cards have gone horribly wrong for me.
I'm messing with you, man. That's an accomplishment in its own. None of us. I have never had a perfect card. Chris had a perfect card once, but that was before we ever started the podcast.
That was before the podcast. This is the first in war room. Which one was perfect for him again?
He got I think everything on UFC 283 in Brazil, which was Glover Teixeira and Chris.
This was before I knew Chris.
Yeah, so this was a long time ago. He hasn't had a perfect card since. I'm still waiting on the perfect card. But you guys know who's still at the top of the standings. You guys know who to tail. But Tom Paliarulo finishing Ananias Malumba in the 3rd round. This fight went exactly how I thought it would. Yo, what's up, Tyler Betts? Welcome to the chat. How you doing, brother? Tom Paliarulo was always going to break Malumba as the fight went on. Malumba and Paliarulo dropped each other within seconds in the first round, and that was when Malumba was going to be his most dangerous. But as the fight went on, y'all, Malumba faded, and Paliarulo fought through so much adversity, even in that 3rd round itself, to find the finish. Uber deserving of a contract. He is a gritty fighter. Obviously, he's training with Tiger Beetle, Corey Sandhagen, Tatsuro Taira M. That's a good gym to be a part of. I think it's going to be very, very, very good future for Tom Paliarulo, the Italian stallion, getting it done. But yeah, Sam, what'd you think of Pags? What'd you think of his performance?
Yeah, I like Pags. I think by the end of round 3, you kind of just knew it's over for Malumba. The first round did make me a little skeptical at first. I was like, I don't know if either of these fighters are getting a contract. And then the way that Paliarulo just broke down Malumba really impressed me. I love to see these gritty fighters that can take it a little bit longer. And that's kind of what I think a lot of these fighters in Dana White's Contender Series, like, you're either going to be like get a nasty knockout or submission, or you're just going to break down a guy and just keep making the fight entertaining as it moves on. I think that's what I like about Pagliarulo. I don't know. As for his UFC career, I have. It's tough being a featherweight, man, with how loaded the featherweight division is and how many people in the featherweight division can just break you down as the fight goes along. I kind of feel, and I don't really want to use this term lightly, but I'm kind of sensing like a gatekeeper status as like the ceiling for Pagliarulo, which isn't bad for the featherweight division. I won't lie. If you're a gatekeeper at featherweight, I think that's actually like a good place to be. But we'll see. We'll see where his career goes. I am expecting him to get maybe 1 or 2 wins in the UFC. And that's an understatement. I don't want to predict more. I don't want to predict higher. The last time I made a bold prediction on the Contender Series, it aged like milk that's been left out in Phoenix, Arizona. If you know where I'm going with that, but
yeah. For those who are not in the know about that, he basically said Bisonger Susurkaev is the next Sean O'Malley, which. Yeah.
With the hype. It did not work out well. There's still hype around him, but maybe like not just nowhere near as much hype.
Yeah. But we're definitely glad he got signed, though. I do agree with you.
There's probably more hype about some of these guys that we're talking about later than there is Bisonger Susurkaev.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with the point of him being a gatekeeper, because that was such a gatekeeper-esque win. It really felt like something like Neil Magny's fighting this weekend. That felt like a Neil Magny win. You know what I mean? Where he gets dropped early on, he gets rocked, and then as the fight goes on, he just finds a way to finish it in the third. But I'm excited to see Pagliarulo in the UFC. Should be a lot of fun. We go up to the third fight now, and this is where we start bringing the big dogs out. We start really, really bringing the big dogs, Miradul Saikia, into the fold. I'm playing.
Shrikar, your Indian brothers are have not been treating you well.
Guys, we're not guys. Did you really think I was gonna pick Miradul Saikia to beat Bilal Hassan, bro? Like we're just never going to get an Indian fighter. It's not gonna happen. We gotta quit it with wishful thinking, with any optimism whatsoever. Anshul Jubli was our best hope, and the fact that that's even a sentence is remarkable. Crazy. We are never getting a good Indian fighter in the UFC, and it's because India does not care enough. We don't care enough. We have other sports that we're focused on, for one, and we're even having trouble pouring resources into that. We don't even care about cricket or field hockey as much as we used to. So sports are at like an all-time low here, you know?
India cares about field hockey?
It's their national sport.
Oh, the more you learn, y'all.
Yeah.
The more you learn.
India has a national sport, though.
Yeah, but let's talk about it. We can move from India to Indonesia because, first of all, the Indo Ninja. Are you kidding me? That's such a good nickname for the UFC fighter. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing nickname.
Is it better than Crusher? I don't think so. But it's a cool name.
But Bilal Hassan is living up to that name with, I mean, literally just one punch lights out. So fast, so smooth, stylish. This is a guy that I think, and I'm going to give another bold take. I don't think this is a next Sean O'Malley bold take. We'll make it a little vague, too, to make it a little better. But this is a guy that he's going to bring in the dollars and the money for the UFC. With his style, with his personality, with the way he acts in the cage, with how smooth he is with everything. I mean, I'll use a Michael Jackson reference because he loves it. He's a smooth criminal out there, man. And I am so excited to see what he does, and a flyweight division that is getting significantly better and just added one of the best prospects in the flyweight division right now. Bilal Hassan's already there. Shrikar, you have been talking about him for a while now too. We have text, and we're not going to show him on screen.
I'm showing it on screen.
Yeah.
Without the bottom text.
Without the bottom text. Yeah.
Y'all probably will not be able to read this, but here's what it says.
Here, wait, let me make you full screen. Oh shit. Yeah, here he is.
So I sent this text, the string of text in December, like December 20th. It says, if y'all weren't already aware of him, Bilal Hassan, Cage Fury, just got a beautiful win and is now 8-0. Probably going to see him on the Seattle card in March. I thought they were going to send him.
He was talking about way earlier.
So I have been super. This is probably the longest I've ever scouted a prospect in UFC history. In my history with the UFC, I'm so excited for Bilal Hassan. I mean, the kicks are obviously incredible, but the power he packs, he can do it all. He's incredible on the feet. If we ever got a Bilal Hassan Joshua Van fight down the line, it would be one of the greatest flyweights of all time.
It would be unbelievable.
But he is a
yes. Emphasis on the word prospect. I see a lot of people. Look, Jose Ochoa went out against Charles Johnson for this weekend. This is a guy where I want to put him on the Ateba Gautier train. I want to put him on the Gable Steveson train. I want this guy to be built up in the UFC. Build him up after like 2 or 3 fights. Give him like someone absolutely like gatekeeper or someone like known, which could be a Charles Johnson if I'm being honest. Just give him someone that he can maybe move up and just beat that and then slowly work his way. If he gets as far to a title shot, work him up to that, because this is a guy who I can absolutely see fighting for a title in a few years.
1000%.
And I don't really think right now, I don't really think that's a hot take.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm excited to see who they match him up with to begin with, because honestly, if you put Bilal Hassan against Energy, I could see Bilal Hassan winning the fight already.
I could too.
He's ready. He's ready for that level. He's ready to take on like top 15 guys. And I'm not even like trying to overshoot it. He is that good. He really is that good. I think he's a better prospect coming out than Lonnie Kavanaugh was. And everyone was hyping up Lonnie Kavanaugh to no end. Bilal Hassan is one of the best flyweight prospects we've seen in a very, very long time.
I think there's a few names that you could give him. I think Cody Durden could be a good one.
Yeah, Cody Durden would be great, actually.
Cody Durden would be great. I think Alibi Idiris would be
Odie Osborne could be a fun fight.
Odie Osborne could be a great fight. I think maybe not now, but maybe a second fight too if he wins. Is a guy once a prospect on a 2-fight losing streak, Young Sung Park.
That could work too. I mean, Clayton
Carpenter. I think it's a little early for that. Just more for Park's sake. I wouldn't do that right now, but I have a feeling this is going to be a guy that gets built up.
100%. I see him in that ilk of strikers. Like when we think about the strikers in this division, we think of Joshua Van, we think of Manel Kopp. I think off pure striking, Bilal Hassan's probably a tier below them, but probably in the same tier as a Joshua Van. I don't think there's a better striker than Manel Kopp in this division, but yeah. I mean, it's absolutely, the sky is the floor for this guy. He is going to go very, very far in this promotion. I'm very excited to see what he does. I do wish they gave him a better opponent on Contender Series itself, because it does feel like they just gave him Psyche and it's like, okay, just whoop away. And
I also think Trukart, to that point though, I think, look, they're giving him Psyche, but I also think at the same time, like I said, this guy's a prospect. I think people knew biggest favorite Contender Weight Series history. You know, this guy is going to be a problem. At the end of the day, you want to give him someone that's going to hype up fans after just a gigantic win like that.
Well, actually, it's funny because I was talking about it with Chris. I was kind of rage baiting him right after this fight. I was like, that is how a minus 10,000 or whatever favorite's supposed to look. And mind you, Bilal Hassan was minus like 3,600. He wasn't even a minus 10,000, which is even more absurd that Dakota Decheva was a minus 10,000 against Denise Kielholtz.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'll never understand that. And you guys were probably there for the argument we had on stream about it. I will still never understand that. And I feel like every day that take just ages better for me, because Bilal Hassan went out there and showed you what a massive, massive favorite is supposed to do. He slimed his opponent out in less than a minute. That is exactly what Dakota Decheva was expected to do as a minus 10,000, not go to decision.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'll say. I won't open up the can of worms again. When Chris hops on, I will, but I won't do it now. Great job, Bilal Hassan. We'll get another Indian in there soon just to get slimed out again. All right. This is an interesting fight. Abe Alsagir and Fabrizio Escarrega. Guys, I'm counting this as a win for us. I'm counting this as a win for us because we got robbed. We got robbed so bad.
Absurd.
I had a lot of money on Escarrega money line at minus 135. He won that fight 3-0. I don't know where the hell you get a 2-1 scorecard from. I believe there needs to be an investigation into this fight. That's genuinely how bad I think this robbery was. I cannot make an argument for 2-1 Al-Sagir. A lot of people gave Al-Sagir that second round. No shot in hell he won that second round. No way. There is no reason a guy who fails 16 or 17 takedowns and loses
0 for 16.
0 for 16, loses in the clinch and gets outstruck. There is no reason a guy should win that fight. No reason. Absolutely no reason. I think this was a clear-cut robbery. Dana grilled Al-Sagir. Well, it's not Al-Sagir.
Deservedly so.
It's not Al-Sagir's fault, but,
it's not. But, yeah.
It's the judge's fault. They screwed this up big time, and even if Escarrega won, he wasn't going to get a contract. This fight was awful. This fight was horrible. You need to know what it takes to be on Contender Series, how you're going to get that contract. Both of these guys did not get the memo. Al-Sagir especially. You cannot come in with a wrestling-heavy game plan and just stick with it the whole time, even if it fails. If it fails, you got to strike. You got to show something else. I feel like there are so many stubborn fighters that come through Contender Series. Al-Sagir was one of those stubborn fighters. He got rewarded for it, and thank God he didn't get a contract. Obviously, Dana wasn't going to give him one, but this was a complete robbery. Full stop.
Yeah, absolute robbery. Al-Sagir, I felt like in his post-fight interview, I think he knew that it was a robbery too. He saw his the way he was talking to Laura Sanko, he knew he wasn't getting a contract, and he knew that he lost that fight. Escarrega absolutely deserved to win this fight. Did he deserve a contract? Absolutely not. But I'm not opposed to him getting another shot, whether it be on Contender Series, whether it be proving himself on the regional scene, proving that he can finish the fight more and have what it takes for Dana White's Contender Series. Because I'll put it this way. I was impressed by Escarrega, but not in a way that I would put him in the UFC just yet. You saw signs of what he can do. A lot of against a wrestling heavy game plan, 0 for 16. Guy went 0 for 16. That's pretty impressive. But at the end of the day, it's not enough to get you in the UFC if you're Escarrega. You got to finish the fight. And he didn't do that. And whether or not he won, it wasn't going to matter. None of these guys were getting a contract. Al-Sagir, I don't think I ever don't really want to hear about him again. No offense to him. I just was not impressed and just did not prove me right. Escarrega, I could see him getting back in the UFC at some point.
I don't see a path for Escarrega unless he does some crazy shit on the regional scene. This was a terrible fight by his standards too, and that's kind of why I'm as mad as I am at both of these guys. This was billed to be the fight of the night. I thought this was going to be the fight of the night. When you go watch their tape, what they showed on tape was vastly different from what we saw in this fight. Escarrega at least showed a little bit of what we saw on tape, but Al-Sagir, I'm very disappointed in. I was really liking both of these guys as prospects, but they just didn't come with it. They didn't. So this one is one that I could do without, and Dana did without it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
Anthony Wint slimes out Matt Adams in the main event in 30 seconds. Pretty much exactly what he was meant to do. Here's my thing on Anthony Wint. I think he's almost like a heavyweight Gauthier. He is very, very raw in that he has a lot of power. He's very physical, he's a tough guy to just face in that octagon. But against these more athletic heavyweights who are going to be able to move better than a Matt Adams would, or anyone on the regional scene for that matter, that are going to actually, know how to evade his power shots, that are going to dance around the cage and circle and, use cage cutting to their effectiveness. How will Anthony Wint do? That's my biggest question. He's definitely got the tools, but he's really green. That's the one thing. He's a very, very green prospect. He did what he was supposed to do as a minus 800. He went out, he knocked out Matt Adams in 30 seconds. That's great. His long-term heavyweight future, I don't know. Now, I'm hoping they just give him a can on this upcoming Sacramento card because they want to put him on that card. Give him a can on Sacramento, let him go get a KO, build the highlight reel. But I see this playing out like Gauthier. And Gauthier, to be fair, did get better with each fight he had in the UFC in being more patient and, really expanding his toolkit over time. I'm hoping the same happens for Anthony Wint, but I need to see it first. And we've seen a trend of these former NFL players coming into MMA and, Hokett found success. Could Anthony Wint be the next one, or will he end up like a Greg Hardy? We're gonna see. There's two ways.
Austin Lane.
Or an Austin Lane. We'll see
Yeah.
how it falls. I like how there's like, oh yeah, there's a proven track record of success from NFL guys.
One guy.
There's one guy.
It's one guy who was an All-American wrestler in college.
Yeah,
like this guy had the skills before. Hokett had the skills. By the way, on my old YouTube channel, when I'm a 49ers fan. I did 49ers streams back in the day. During COVID, I made an undrafted rookie free agent video, including Josh Hokett. I broke down the tape on Josh Hokett, broke down what he could do. I mentioned how he was an All-American wrestler. I also looked back at some tweet history I had. Back when it was being reported that players were vaccinated or unvaccinated in the NFL. He was one of the 4 players that were on the Niners that were unvaccinated. So go figure with that. It makes a lot more sense now. Anyways, look, Anthony Wint, I was impressed by this. It was kind of what I was expecting looking at those odds. Curious to see how he does in heavyweight. It's not he felt very raw. That's my thing. And I kind of agree with you, Shruker. I'd love to see him I love to have them give him like a can, maybe like a Junior Tafa. No, I'm just kidding. They're not going to give him Junior. They could. They actually might. I'm not going to lie.
Anthony Wint can go to 205 if he wants. I think he's not like a huge heavyweight. Like I think he could go down to 205 and potentially be massive for that weight class if he wanted to.
He weighs in at what's his weight?
I think he weighs
last weigh was 234. So he's a small heavyweight. He's about Josh Hokett's height.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can cut down to 205. He has the muscle for it too.
Yeah, but he's 7-0, like still pretty raw. He only like really started fighting recently because if you're watching, he was all in on football, and then his buddy maybe 6 years ago was like, you should try MMA, and it worked out for him. So we'll see what happens. This dude was still working at FIU up until very recently. By the way, his NFL career, I just want to say, it wasn't long, but 2 games, 1 forced fumble, 1 tackle. So on his only tackle in the NFL, he forced a fumble. That's impressive in my book.
Yeah, no, that is impressive.
Yeah,
100%.
Good for him.
Yeah, but I mean, this episode of Contender Series was good. It was decent. Next week, we have a banger in the main event. Namo Fazil and Gaig Brito is going to be absolutely insane. I'm very excited to see what happens there. We got some good good picks coming up as well. So if you guys follow our Instagram, every Tuesday morning we post our picks and our bets for Contender Series on our story. So if you guys want our picks for Contender Series as some extra content, go to our Instagram at War Room MMA Pod. That's how you're gonna find it. But yeah, some RAF news we want to go over. Arman Tsarukyan is fighting Dylan Danis for the RAF Middleweight Crossover Championship on October 3rd. It was officially announced a couple of days ago. The only reason I wanted to talk about this is because Arman has a UFC fight booked, and he has a RAF fight booked at the same time. So there is a way that this could go terribly wrong. But Arman Tsarukyan and Dylan Danis is a very, very funny fight. Arman is going to kill him, first and foremost. If this is wrestling, he's got it in the bag. I just find it really interesting. They've already booked the RAF fight while he's got the UFC fight coming up. If he gets injured in that UFC fight, which they knock on wood,
hope it doesn't happen, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a peculiar situation. But Arman and Dylan Danis, Sam, what do you think?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I just don't watch RAF at all, really. It's just funny that he's getting this. I guess at the end of the day. It's cool to see that he's doing this while he's not fighting in the UFC. He hasn't fought in a minute, but I don't have too much thoughts. He's probably going to win. I don't really know RAF that well. I just know that he's been dominating at RAF. And Dylan Danis, I mean, what is he doing these days, man? It's just a name I don't love hearing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I wager that this fight gets canceled. I'll be straight up about that. I would wager that it gets canceled, but Arman Tsarukyan and Dylan Danis, a very interesting fight. Let's get into some UFC fights that have been announced. First of all, there was a fight that was just announced that we'll get into in a little bit, but we have this one. I was able to confirm that Davison Figueiredo and Peyton Talbott is being worked on to take place on October 3rd at UFC 332, Salt Lake City, Utah. I think this fight is very interesting from the matchmaking perspective on what you want to do with Peyton Talbott. If the goal was to get Peyton Talbott another highlight reel moment and to have him get a finish, you have accomplished your goal. However, this does not do anything for Peyton Talbott. It really does not. He is going to go out there. He is going to slime out Figgy in the first round. I will go out and say that already. This will be on the main card. I don't expect this to be on the prelims. It's Peyton Talbott. He's popular. They'll put it on the main card.
Yes.
I just don't see a point. I don't see the point. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion what's going to happen in this fight. Peyton Talbott is going to finish. He's going to do to Figgy whatever he wants because on the ground he can hang, on the feet he can hang. But yeah, again, Sam, I just don't get the point of it.
I don't hate this matchmaking. I'm going to be completely honest. I think it's really just it feels like it's just like this is it for Figgy, and we always say that, but I do kind of it is kind of where both fighters are at the end of the day. Like that, I think that's at the end of the day. Like I feel like this is going to be a Peyton Talbott win, like pretty easily. Figgy's past his prime. I don't want him to go down this Tai Tuivasa route where he's just going to keep losing and losing and losing and losing. It kind of, so we'll see what happens, but I think this is a pretty simple matchmake. Not simple matchmake, I should say. Even matchmake. This is kind of where I think both guys are at. If I believe in the meta rankings, or the meta I'll compare the meta and the media rankings. The meta rankings, he is Figgy is 11 and Talbot is unranked. And then in the media rankings, Talbot is I'm looking at the wrong division now. Talbot's 11 and Figgy's 9. It's like kind of right around where I would expect both of these fighters to be fighting at this point. You could have given Talbot someone better, maybe like an Ayman Zahabi. But besides that, like it makes sense to me at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I could see for him to because Peyton. Wait, so you said Talbot's not in the rankings, or he is in the rankings? He's not in the meta.
Talbot is in the media rankings, not the meta rankings.
It makes some sense, but like it's not. I still don't think it's the best matchup he could have produced out of Peyton Talbott with the momentum he's on. But if he wanted to go for that, then sure, I guess. Which makes it interesting for the rest of bantamweight because how do we match up the rest if you have the rankings up? Who else do we? Who doesn't have fights booked?
All right, let's see. Meta. Do you want to do meta or media?
Probably media because that seems to be the more accurate one.
All right, champion Petr Yan. Here, let me pull up my screen real quick. Give me 1 second. Share screen. And where are you? Here you go. All right, I'm zoomed in a little bit. Oh, that's Streetcar screen. This is my screen. All right, I'm zoomed in a little bit, so we're just have bantamweight. Petr Yan, Merab Dvalishvili. That is happening at UFC 333, I believe. Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is not match made. I think he fights Petr Yan, win or loss of this Merab fight. I think the trilogy makes so much sense there. I think that's probably your best bet. Put him in a title eliminator against Petr Yan, or give him the title shot against Petr Yan. I think either one is fine. Umar Nurmagomedov is fighting Song Yadong. Mario Bautista and Corey Sandhagen, I believe neither are match made. I got to go back. My mind is not great when I go back to fights. They just fought each other, did they?
Whom?
They did, and Bautista won. So Bautista's probably he's probably closing in on a title shot soon. Maybe you give him Merab if Merab loses.
Yeah.
Or maybe you give him that's kind of tough where he's at. He's in a tough position. Song Yadong's fighting. Zahabi will need a fight down. This is where I probably would have gone Peyton Talbott. I don't hate Ayman Zahabi versus the winner of Chito Vera and Charles Jourdain at UFC 331. Although I believe Vera and Zahabi have fought in the past.
No, they haven't. They haven't.
Okay, so maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know why? Because Vera's fighting a different Canadian. That's why I got confused. David Martinez. Is David Martinez match made?
He's fighting Dan Ige at Noche.
I like that fight. I don't love it for him.
I don't understand why Dan Ige is getting David Martinez.
I don't really understand it. I think it's more of just like, hey, you're at Noche. Let's just give this Mexican fighter a can. Not saying Dan Ige is a can, but from where David Martinez is compared to Dan Ige, that's a can to him. Who else? Who else are we looking at? Raul Rosas has not fought in a minute. I don't believe he's on Noche either. He has not fought since he fought Rob Font in Mexico. It was in Guadalajara, Mexico City. I forget which one. Yeah, he needs to be match made. That's honestly who I probably would have given Davison Figueiredo is Raul Rosas. I think that would have been a better fight. Rayoni Barcelos, is he match made? Let me look. I'm trying to find him.
Barcelos, no.
Barcelos is not.
He needs to fight Rosas.
Oh, okay. Oh, I would like that actually. Don't care about Bostrat. McGee. Who could Marcus McGee fight? He just beat someone. He just beat John Giannis.
Yeah.
He could fight up. He could fight up. He can get a slight fight up. I mean, the fact they gave him Piotr Jan was interesting enough, but that's bantamweight right now.
What's one fantasy bantamweight fight you want to see? Let us know in the chat, because now we have the opportunity to kind of go over that. I really don't know. Before anything, I want to see Jan Marab 3, but in terms of the actual rankings and stuff, like Rosas and Barcelos does not move the needle for me at all. I don't really care about that fight, but they might want to make that a 5-rounder. So just from what I've been hearing, it may be wrong, it may be right, but we'll see what happens there. What else is going on? Let me see what we put on the agenda. Patchy mix. Let's talk about Patchy mix.
Oh, dear God.
And not only are we going to talk about Patchy mix, but we're going to talk about the rule set. There we go. I got it up. So Patchy mix loses to Shoko Sato by unanimous decision at Ryzen. And he started the fight with a 2-point deduction after missing weight by 6 pounds. So if Mix had won on the
can I also just say, I kind of like that rule. If you miss weight, you have a point deducted.
It's not horrible.
I think that's better than losing your purse.
I wanted to see Talbott versus Bautista for a while, but after seeing the Sandhagen fight, Bautista would probably win. I think it'd be close.
I think I would lean Mario Bautista.
I would lean Mario as well. That would be a very close fight, though.
It would be close, but I would lean Bautista.
Yeah, but it is a good fight, though. To be fair, I think that would be dope. But yeah, let's talk about this for a second. I do agree, Sam. I do agree, and I'll let you take the reins on this. But I think it is better to implement a rule like this rather than just, okay, here's money. You know, it actually penalizes a fighter in a more serious way.
Yeah, I think it's way better. Like these fighters, win or loss, like they're still getting paid. I think deducting the point is it would be much better. And it depends on how much weight they miss. Like if you miss like 1 pound over, if you're like over like 2 pounds or like you miss weight by less than 2 pounds, maybe it's like 1 point over, like 6 pounds, 2 points, 10 pounds, 3. And then you basically have to win every round. I kind of like that a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But Patchy Mix, man, that guy is what happened.
I can't even explain the downfall just because the guy was actually good in Bellator. Like I still think like he's good. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like I have no explanation for this.
Yeah,
a lot of people tell me Bautista would smash Talbot, but I don't think he'd win easily. Yeah,
I don't
no,
think it's going to be an
not,
easy fight.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
But Patchy Mix is cooked, y'all. I really don't know what he can do from here. And like he just looks defeated too. But I mean, it's your fault. You got to make weight.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a professional. So
Yeah, it's that simple. You gotta make weight. You gotta win your fights. If you're this hyped up and you get 2 shots in the UFC, you look awful. Now you're in Rise and you lose this fight and you missed weight. That's really like where's your career going at this point? So
he's cooked in Ryzen. He was cooked in the UFC to begin with. He's cooked in Bellator. Like I just call it a career. I call it a career here.
yeah,
Like,
don't risk yourself getting further hurt, further injured, or brain damage. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you had a good run, but yeah, man. All right, let's get into some UFC 330 talk. We're gonna record our picks right after this, but we will talk about the fights with y'all and give y'all kind of some extra content. I'll give you my pick for the main and co-main event. But Islam and Gary, before we actually do all that, there is a new fight on this card. Charles Johnson is fighting Eduardo Chapolin. Jose Ochoa is out. So we have a new fight. It's at a catch weight. Chapolin is going to step in on short notice. I think Energy is going to get this done. Energy is at minus 125. Chapolin's at plus 105. Get out of here, you filthy ad. I think Energy gets it done in a classic veteran over prospect spot. Last time we saw Chapolin was his Contender Series fight. I think Energy should show some veteran savvy here, plain and simple. I think he should get it done. I was going to pick Ochoa over Charles Johnson, but yeah, got to side with the bet here.
Yeah, I got to go Energy at this point. I kind of was leaning him against Jose Ochoa, and now like it's short notice fight. Like it's catch weight, 130. I'm still leaning Charles Johnson here. I think this is going to be, I'm not going to say a simple fight, but I feel like I'm pretty confident that Charles Johnson will win this fight at the end of the day. Just the better fighter overall. I think that's all I really have to say about that. It's going to be pretty straightforward.
All right, let's get into, should we start with the co-main or the main event?
Let's do co-main.
All right, co-main event, Mackenzie Dern, Jillian Robertson. I have been so freaking torn on this fight. I lean ever so slightly to the champ retaining. Here's my thing, and I'll explain it more in our picks episode. You have to be a good striker to beat Mackenzie Dern. You have to have some sort of power. You have to have some sort of, okay, I'm a threat on the feet in order to beat Mackenzie Dern. Amanda Lemos had it. Jessica Andrade had it. I don't think Jillian Robertson has it. That's my issue here. Now, if it goes to the ground, is Jillian live in those situations? Yes, she is. I got to go towards Dern, though, because on the feet, it's not going to be like she's getting outclassed. And that is really the only way you can do it. That is why Zhang Weili will smoke Mackenzie Dern. Because Zhang Weili is that much of, she's class on the feet. She will show levels. Jillian Robertson is not showing levels on the feet. And I think that's the big difference here.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's a tough fight. I kind of lean Mackenzie Dern as well, just showing a little more on the feet. I was also a little surprised at this matchmaking when it came out. Like Jillian Robertson, I was not expecting to see yet the title shot for the strawweight division. With that being said, I think my mind was also on Zhang Weili getting it, but we don't know what she's doing right now. Can we also, the first women's title fight this year is kind of crazy, and we're in August.
Yeah, we have heard.
I know there's good
nothing from Kayla, nothing from Val, so we don't know what's happening.
Well, Kayla, we know what happened, but Val was a little surprising.
But we don't know when Kayla is even coming back. She hasn't said a peep about anything.
Hasn't said a peep about anything. It's got to be kind of brutal. We even seen like a Juliana Pena fight this year, or like any contender. Yeah. Like everyone's kind of on hold in that division, so it's kind of been brutal for them. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Mackenzie Dern. These two fighters, My question for you, Sugar, is this going to go to decision, or do you think we get a submission here? Because both of these fighters are great at submissions.
I'm gonna say it's a sub. I'm gonna say Dern gets it done by sub.
I'm also leaning sub too, which will make this fight a little more exciting. I know people are calling this an absolute snooze fest, but I think you get a submission here, and I think it'll turn out to be a better than expectations. But it's going to be all on the ground at the end of the day. Like, don't expect this fight to be at the feet at all. This is going to be on the ground. This is jiu-jitsu at its finest right here.
No, it should be good in the ground exchanges. On the feet, it's going to be utterly dog shit. But
yeah, the feet's not going to be good.
Oh my God, we have a fight announcement, folks.
Oh boy,
here we go. Here we go. Breaking news. Breaking news. We are pulling it up as we speak. Let me take this down.
I have not seen it. I'm curious to see. Is this a big time fighter?
This is a big time fighter, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I see one.
Has his first UFC fight booked.
Oh,
he is fighting in UFC Shanghai against Nilson Rojas. They have given Bilal Hassan a debuting guy.
Love that.
A quick turnaround for Bilal Hassan. I'm surprised we got Hassan fight news before Anthony Wynn. That's crazy.
Probably harder to book a heavyweight than flyweight.
This makes a lot of sense from the geographical perspective. Putting an Indonesian fighter in Shanghai, A+ on that. Hassan should get this done. Should get this done. I'll do my tape study on Nilson Rojas, see if there's anything there.
I've never heard of Nilson Rojas before. Let me look him up.
So he's fighting in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Nilson Rojas is from Peru. He is 9-0, 27 years old, 5'5". His last fight was on July 22nd. He was fighting in Inca MMA. 5 of his 6 fights have gone, he's 9-0. 7 wins by knockout, 2 by decision. So this is going to be a fight on the feet at the end of the day. I'll have to watch the tape as well, but on paper, looks fine.
Yo, viewers 69999. What's up, my brother? How you doing? Wow, I did not expect us to break that on stream, but yeah, there we have it, folks. We'll keep you all updated if some Anthony Wynn fight news drops in the next however many minutes. But let's go to our main event here. Islam Makhachev and Ian Gary. If the UFC website will work with me, that would be
awesome. Sorry, before, what are the odds? What are the odds on the other fight?
On Dern?
Yeah, on Dern.
I believe Dern is -210 and Robertson is +180.
That's fair. I like that.
And let me check the sub odds while we're at it.
Oh,
let me check the sub odds for both.
Chris is probably, I believe he's in the car right now, so we'll see what his internet connection's like. But we'll get him back in the studio. We'll get him in the studio in a sec. Oh, here he is.
Yeah, there he is. Let's get him on.
What up?
Chris, Bilal Hassan has a fight booked.
Who?
Bilal Hassan has a fight booked.
Please tell me it's against.
It is not
against someone you've never heard of.
Yeah, you've not heard of this person.
All right, so they're not in the UFC?
They're not in the UFC. This is a debut. This is a debut.
Damn, that sucks. Who is it?
Nilson Rojas.
Nilson Rojas from Peru. 9-0, 7 wins by knockout or TKO. It'll be on UFC Shanghai on August 29th.
That's pretty cool. Those Peruvians know how to fight.
Damn straight.
Type shit.
Except my guy Gaston Bolaños.
So Mackenzie Dern by sub is +200. Jillian Robertson by sub is +1200. Her knockout and sub lines are the same. Jillian Robertson is +300 to win by decision. If you were going to side with Jillian Robertson, just take the money line. If you were going to take Dern, I think Dern by sub is very, very live.
Yeah, that's what I would go with too.
Give me a second while I grab a charger.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if we're talking, Chris, do you have any thoughts on this co-main event between Dern and Robertson?
Am I echoing? I just
You're
turned
not
off my
echoing
camera.
now. You're
All
all
right,
good.
cool. Because I'm turning off my camera because I'm about to start driving. But yeah, last time it was echoing pretty bad. I mean, like, it's not what you want to see in a co-main event if you're coming back to Philly for the first time since what, 2019.
Something
But
like that.
yeah, I mean, it's whoever's fighting for the title are just warming the seat for Zhang Weili to come back, which personally I think she should 1000% be coming back because I don't think she has any business at flyweight, especially after the way she got manhandled by Valentina.
Yeah.
A lot of those women are of the same size of Valentina, and clearly it wasn't a skill issue, it was a size issue for her. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, it's not great. I think it'll be interesting to see where this fight takes place because you have two high-level grapplers in Mackenzie Dern and Jillian Robertson. Both girls are very accomplished on the ground and can snatch up subs from anywhere. But if the fight takes place on the feet, like I'm taking Mackenzie Dern all day because from what I've seen from Jillian Robertson in the past is that fighters that are a little more physical than her, a little more not even a little more well versed on the feet, just more well versed on the feet, and that are more comfortable, definitely give her problems because she isn't the best striker. I don't want to call her a one-trick pony, but it's kind of feels like that's what she is. So yeah, I mean, I think her going down to strawweight has definitely benefited her career. She didn't really have too much success at 125, but yeah, we'll see if the grappling cancels out, or if Jillian is as good as she thinks she is, or as good as she has looked previously. But Are we giving picks here? Should I
No,
give my
I'm
picks?
saving mine.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take Mackenzie Dern.
Oh wait, I already gave my pick. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Mackenzie Dern. I honestly think it'll go decision, but I would not be surprised if Mackenzie Dern sub Jillian Robertson.
Yeah, I think Mackenzie Dern gets it done here. Yeah, Terrence. It is an early stream, of course. Midweek lives are going to be earlier. Our Sunday streams are the late night streams. Our midweek streams are the earlier ones that y'all can tap into at a time where you're not struggling.
Reasonable hour.
But let's get into this main event. Islam Makhachev, Ian Gary. We got a face-off between the two. Fane says to reveal yourself, Chris.
He's driving you. He wants you to crash the car. Fane.
Who did? Yo, Fane did the stream? What?
Yeah.
Fane is in the stream.
Bro, what do you... Fane, bro. You never tap in. Thank you for the view. Give a like while you're at it. I think you're subscribed.
You think, geez.
Just to Fane, no one else liked the video.
Yeah, Fane, give the video a like. I was just gonna say I'm at a stoplight right now, but then it just turned green. So, I'm not. I cannot show my face because we do not use our phone and drive. I'm basically on a phone call right now.
By the way, Fane, I tried telling everyone, bro, David Bailey is cracked. For months I said he was the best defensive player in this draft class. He is the best defensive player in this draft class. He's going to be so damn good.
Oh, there's a fire hydrant that is flooding the street in Secaucus.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Fane, I would also love to hear your thoughts on Anthony Wint, former New York Jet.
Fane has no idea who that is.
Well, then he's not a true Jets fan then.
I will bet my bottom dollar that he doesn't know who that is.
Oh my God.
I still wanted Reese, but let's hope you're right, dude. He's going to be better than Reese, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but neither of them will be better than Caleb Downs.
Nah, I think Bailey will be better. Caleb Downs is good, bro, but like,
oh my God,
yeah, he'll be good for y'all. But I think David Bailey is just him. Islam and Gary, we got a face off between these guys. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Islam looks freaking massive. It doesn't really look like there's a big height or size differential, to me at least. Everyone was kind of building that up like, oh, Ian's going to outsize him. He's going to mog Islam. it does not look that way at all. Islam is put on the weight really, really well. So, yeah, I guess Luke doesn't know who Anthony Wynn is.
Fake
Let's go.
fan.
I won my bet.
What was the bet?
I said I'll bet my bottom dollar that Fane does not know who that is.
I didn't agree to that bet, but
But anyway,
my question is, was Islam wearing some lifters in the shoes? Because he did not look 5 inches smaller than Ian Garry.
he's not. And the UFC bullshits with that all the time. I don't think it's ever really that way. Islam is put on the size really well, guys. I think Islam is going to finish Ian Garry. Like that is literally my pick for this fight. I'm pretty confident. We have another fight announcement here that I'll bring up in just a second. We have 2 more fight announcements that I got to bring up. But
oh boy.
Yeah, I think Islam gets it done. I think he's going to get this to the ground like he always does. Everyone says, oh, but this guy can stop the takedowns. I'm sorry. Ian Garry has never seen Dagestani wrestling before. I bet against Islam in the last fight. I'm not betting against this guy ever again. I'm betting Islam, and I'm betting Islam by sub. I think he's going to find Gary's neck. I think he's going to tap Ian Garry.
Yeah, I agree. I think Islam is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world for a reason. He's going to get it done quickly. By the way, I think it's awesome that Ian Garry's kid loves Islam so much. And the Josh Hoka tweet relating to that's how I found out. That was wild to see. But anyways, Gary's good. Islam's on a different level than everyone in the UFC at the end of the day. And I think he gets this done. Ian Garry will take him a few rounds, but I think you're looking at like a round 3 or 4 submission, in my opinion.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on that train as well. I think Islam's going to win by submission. It'll be interesting to see how long it lasts before Islam gets a takedown, because the takedown is inevitable. It's inevitably coming to Ian Garry. But I mean, we've seen all this talk about Ian Garry training wrestling, going to Georgia, trying to revamp his ground game.
Oh God,
I don't really feel that that's going to matter much. I mean, it only delays the inevitable. Like, it's not going to prevent Islam from being able to find success. You know, the Dagestani wrestling is second to none, and it's far ahead of the second best that we'll see. You know, those guys grow up wrestling, and when that's instilled in you from such a young age, you know, it definitely pays dividends, and we get to see it unfold in real time in the UFC. But, you know, to your point, Shrikar, saying like, oh, everyone's saying Ian Garry's bigger. He'll have the size advantage, the length advantage. You know, in wrestling, it might not be a benefit for Ian Garry to be
the smaller guy win in wrestling.
Exactly. It might not be a benefit for Ian Garry to be the longer fighter in this, because the longer your legs are, the easier it is for Islam to snatch up a single leg and take you down. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. In the striking game, obviously, that's a completely different beast, but Ian Garry's coming into this fight knowing he's going to do at least 5 to 10 minutes of hardcore wrestling, and he's going to be in bottom position. So, you know, I'm assuming he's training that, and I would make that my entire camp, which I'm sure he has, because he could definitely contend with Islam on the feet. I mean, Islam's striking should not be, you know, undermined or diminished, because Islam's also a very good striker. Like, he's very competent and capable on the feet. But I'd probably give the edge slightly to Garry, just because we've seen more. He's a little more refined in that kickboxing area, but combat sambo, the whole thing is, you know, you're well versed in both, and Islam is a phenomenal combat sambo fighter. I think he's going to have success wherever he wants this fight to happen. And the key word is want. Wherever Islam wants the fight to happen, not wherever it goes, because Islam's going to be dictating this fight. He's gonna if stay on the feet, they'll stay on the feet. If he wants it to the ground, no problem getting that to the ground. So I think it's Islam from start to finish, and I think he turns back yet another challenger.
Chris, I was gonna say save some for the actual video. We can't give the full breakdown on the stream, but y'all got the full breakdown.
I'm driving, and I low-key just went into flow state right there.
This is the most Chris thing. He just gets in a flow state and just yaps and yaps. But This is what we love about Chris.
But y'all are gonna get our full picks tonight. Keep your eyes peeled. All of our picks, every fight on UFC 330. You're gonna get those full picks tonight. We're about to record it right after we hop on stream.
Sure. Don't pull up the fight, because if you heard me maybe like 5 minutes ago, I leaned over and I was like, so we have like the previews of everyone, so I can see Shrikar's screen in the preview on the bottom. I looked down, and I don't know if everyone heard me, but I was like, oh god, because this is a fighter that I am not excited to see fight.
What do you mean? This is a sick fight.
The guy on the left.
No, both guys. I mean,
I can't even see who the other guy is, but the guy on the left I recognize from a mile away. I'm like, oh god,
this is
Please
an incredible.
tell me you're talking about Dylan Danis and Arman Tsarukyan.
No. We already talked about that. This is new information to us. This is an awesome fight. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, just announced today, Gerald Meerschaert is fighting Julius Walker in the Apex.
Let's go, bro. Dude,
GM3 has a chance to get a win.
I cannot wait to hammer GM3 by submission.
I mean, oh my god, another fight announcement just came in. So we're gonna have to just cycle through.
I don't got many thoughts on that fight. We can move on.
This is a fight.
It's a fight. That's the best way to put it.
Julie, if the odds are even, I'll probably bet Julius Walker, but like I could not tell you really who I think was gonna win.
If the odds are even on that fight, I think that tells you just the level of competition that Julius Walker is.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We have a guy who we proclaimed as, the lock of what was it? Not the Nashville. Where Oklahoma City. A guy who fought in Oklahoma City. I hammered this guy.
Oh my God, is that RJ Harris?
RJ Harris back, and he is fighting Alan Fry Jr. in the Apex on October 10th.
He's gonna smoke him.
Yes, we will be hammering RJ Harris to get it done by brutal slime out. Harris looks like the bastard son of Walter Walker and Ben Rothwell. Yeah, I mean, RJ Harris should be able to get this one done. He should be able to get it done by KO. I don't know if y'all had any other thoughts about it.
That's all I got. Not many.
I mean,
it's an interesting.
Pretty solid fight. I mean, RJ Harris is pretty raw. What is he now? 6-0, 7-0.
I think 7.
7-0. Yeah, I mean, he absolutely slimed out Guzzi Hines' last time out. I mean, they have to treat him. They have to treat him with caution, because even though heavyweight is very, very thin, you cannot afford to rush a guy into a fight, especially a guy like RJ Harris that has brutal knockout power. Like I think he'll have a puncher's chance against a lot of fighters, but you kind of want him to be that guy where he can come into any fight card and, oh my God, this guy just cut me off. He can come into any fight card and really just be that knockout, like a guaranteed knockout. You love having those guys on the card because, you never know how a fight's going to go. You see the fights that are supposed to end in finish. Like we saw on the Contender Series, Kuhneman versus Kropscott. That fight was like plus 600 to see the judges' scorecards, and it ultimately did. Can I give my quick thoughts on Contender Series?
Yeah, real quick. Sherm from Jackson, welcome to the stream, my brother. How you doing, man? Yes.
By the way, that Farmer's 10 on RJ Harris is brutal.
Yeah, this is crazy, bro. Oh my Lord. Let me zoom in on the titties. Oh my goodness.
Hey, yo,
this tat is hard though. I like that tat. But yeah, Chris, thoughts on Contender Series? Give it to me.
All right. I personally thought that Kropscott deserved a contract. I did see some mixed discourse that maybe he didn't.
Me too.
But Kuhneman's tough. I didn't really expect the size difference to play that much into the fight. I thought Kropscott did a great job of maintaining his distance, using those teep kicks and just his length overall to keep Kuhneman at bay, especially when he came in with wild overhands. I do not know how Kuhneman did not tap at the end of that fight. That was actually insane. He bent his elbow inside out. Props to Kuhneman on that for not tapping. I saw he posted on Instagram today.
Chris, my big argument was he should have tapped. He should have tapped.
Yeah, I mean, but like some guys just have that kind of ego complex where it's like I'd rather pass out than I tap out, or I'd rather let it break than tap, because to them it shows a sign of weakness. But that was insane. Props to Koonman for doing that. He posted on Instagram saying, "I'll never tap out. Like, I'm willing to die for this." So I don't know. That's personally not me, but you have to be a special breed to be a UFC fighter, an MMA fighter in general. I thought Kropscott did deserve. A contract, though. He did try and finish it. Ultimately, he should have been finished and late third round. So that was a solid fight to start off season 10. Second fight between Tom Pagliarulo and Anais Malumba. I mean, dude, Pagliarulo,
Such a
he
money
looked
maker.
shaky. That was a sneaky banger. He looked really shaky in the first round. I think he was trying to just navigate that power that Malumba has, but Shrikar posted it in his fight breakdown with the picks, and it happened to Malumba last time. He comes out guns blazing and he does gas, and it was very evident. Pagliarulo found his range. The height definitely played a factor in that, which I thought would happen. And yeah, I mean, he did a great job landing the takedown the third round, flattening him out, and going for the finish. That's exactly what Dana wants to see. Bilal Hassan, you guys already know that dude is absolutely insane. Like, he's a freaking monster. I actually took Bilal Hassan to win by first minute finish at plus 300. That was literally one of the easiest cashes of my life.
The chalkiest fight of the card, and we still managed to somehow find some value out of it.
Yeah, I put $30 on it at plus 300 for first minute finish, and your boy hit. The fourth fight, absolute robbery, worst robbery, one of the worst robberies I've ever seen. I am shocked that Escaraga did not win that fight. And I don't think either of the guys were going to get a contract regardless. I don't think Escaraga deserved one, but I think he definitely deserved a win. And then main event, Anthony Wynn, it was a premature stoppage. Like, I think Herb Dean came in pretty quickly, but I think Matt Adams would have been absolutely unconscious within 10 to 15 seconds. So, do as you will. But Anthony Wynn looked good. I'm glad they flipped him around really quick so he can get another fight. But yeah, and I also hit Anthony Wynn under half a round. So
huge. We have one more fight announcement to go over. The debut of Ramiro Jimenez.
Oh my God, it's finally here.
He is here. He is booked for Noche to fight Rodrigo Vera. Ramiro Jimenez should get this done by finish.
Oh my God, I love Ramiro Jimenez. Thank God.
I actually have PTSD from this contender series. I've commentated an OCL event for Matt Adams before, and he always goes ass up, face down, dead in any big fights. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, man. Anthony Wynn just took it to him, man. That was a tough watch. I mean, it's exactly what we expected at the end of the day. But we got some good hits off contender series. We would have made a lot more if the judges were not on some bullshit and they gave Escaraga the win. I'm still pissed about that, but we'll take it, man. We'll take it. I think I was up like $10 after wagering 100. So you know what? Profit's profit. We'll move on from that. Chris, I did want to ask you though, because it's an interesting conversation to have about, how big of a favorite didn't mean. No. Don't worry, bro. You can put anything in chat. We're going to respond to it, dog. Look, man, Chris, we have to have a talk about big favorites. Bilal Hassan was a minus 3,600. Dakota Decheva was a minus 10,000. Dana White.
Both their hands.
Dana White, in that post when he goes over each fighter, he said that is how the biggest favorite in contender series history is supposed to look. He is proving my point to a T. Do you think that performance is a minus 3,600? That is justifying a line. That is what I mean by justifying a line. I think he justified the line better than Dakota did. Dakota should not have been minus 10,000. I will still stand by that. She should have been like minus 600, minus 700 max.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can only justify the line like that in hindsight.
Exactly. And my whole point was...
It's also contender series.
Yes, but it's still a fight that has a line on it.
Okay. I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, I guess it's pretty hard to finish someone when you break both of your hands in the first round.
Guys, I tried to rage bait him.
Yeah.
It's not worth
Ramiro
it.
Jimenez,
I'm still sticking by it. Like I still think she's warranted to be a minus 10,000 favorite.
I don't know. I just can't get by that.
You can't use the result of you can't use the finishing result of the fight in terms of like, oh, they got a knockout or not. To she was facing a 9-5 girl who
what else are we supposed to
dominated.
go off of to say that this line was a
She
justified?
dominated her. It was a 30-27 through and through.
As a minus 10,000, you got to get a finish. I'm sorry.
Okay, but she broke her hands. She broke both of her hands.
And the side bet of that is that she was minus 500 to get the KO.
Okay, and do you think she's
Yeah.
hawking FanDuel? Do you think she's hawking Vegas odds on what she is?
No. But the debate is if Dakota Ditcheva was a justified minus 10,000. I think Bilal Hassan was a justified minus 3,600. You know why? Because he went out and starched the motherfucker in round 1 in 45 seconds.
All right.
I'm just sitting back and eating popcorn over here, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not moving from my stance.
Hey, me neither. We're gonna have to respect the takes on each side. That's how we get past these things.
I think we both have valid points.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all let us in chat if we're tripping or not, or if you have a different take. Because I feel that Dakota Ditcheva should not have been minus 10,000. Even looking at it in hindsight, even going into the fight, I don't think she should have been minus 10,000. And that's just something that me and Chris have been bickering about it back and forth. But anyways, man, I'm sorry. Ramiro Jimenez, I'm very, very excited to see in the UFC. They gave him a favorable matchup here with Rodrigo Vera. But for Noche, I think it works. Geographically, it works. They've been nailing these fight announcements on the geographical perspective because I like what they did with Bilal Hassan, too, putting him in Shanghai. I'm Switzerland in this one. Yeah. I mean, you can be in the middle, man. You don't mean it. You don't mean it. It's just an interesting debate to have. But, fellas, I don't know if you remember Ramiro Jimenez's Contender Series fight, but if you do, what do you think about this fight?
I was gonna say it's been a minute, but this is a favorable matchup for him. I like that he's doing that in Noche. By the way, this Noche card looks insane. Like way better than 330.
I'll pull it up right now.
Like from top to bottom, it looks really good. Like Yair Silva, great. Moreno Morales, great. McMillan Marhiki, banger. Fiora Grasso, banger. Cortez Acosta and Blades, banger. Martinez Ige, solid fight.
This main card is insane.
Yeah, and then scroll down to the prelims because the prelims, they're still good. Elliot Charas, banger. Bahamondes Selikov, banger. Gaslam I don't want to pronounce the name. Solid fight. Not that excited for. Aldrich and Taryn, solid fight. And now they're adding this fight too. This is a loaded card from top to bottom.
Between 331 and Noche, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is the best 2-week stretch of UFC we're gonna have this year. Like,
I agree.
That is gonna be so freaking sick. There is not
Noche is by far and away a better card than 330. Like, not even close.
Yeah, no, it's not close. There's not a single bad fight on Noche, and there's not a single bad fight on 331.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. There is not one bad fight. I didn't even think they'd get the Tommy McMillan fight done, and they ended up getting it.
And I was going to say last year's Noche card was really rough from what I remember. It was the last time John Silva fought on that Noche card? Was that the last time he fought?
No, he fought Arnold Allen 324.
Oh, he did fight Arnold Allen. Yeah. Yeah, just bangers after banger after banger. I love it.
No, 100%. But guys, we're gonna wrap things up for stream because we got a picks video to record. Keep your eyes peeled because in just a few hours, we are gonna have our UFC 330 full card predictions, all the betting picks you need. That video is gonna go up. So if you're still awake or if you wake up in the morning, you see it, go ahead and click on that video. Show us some love. A like, a comment is a free action. It's the best way to support us. We'll always preach that. So, yeah, we're very excited to go over every fight on 330 because I've been torn on quite a few of these fights, and don't think I'm going to reach a clear consensus even when we get to the fights themselves, but I'm very excited to break down 330. It's not a good card, obviously, on paper. There are some intriguing fights, though, and we'll show those fights some love as we go through it.
Yeah, I agree. Also, if anyone in the chat is going to 330, come find me and Sam.
Yeah, we will have boots on the ground at 3:30, so it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, these boys are going to be there. I'll be watching.
The intermission of our stream is figuring out where we're sitting. We have not booked the tickets yet, but hotel's booked. We'll figure out the ticket situation in a sec.
1000%, man. Hey, but we love y'all. Thank y'all for hopping in the chat once again. Thank y'all for interacting with us. This was a good stream. We're going to keep these midweek lives going, man. We have a good built-out content schedule now. We're grinding. We're doing everything we can. So we really appreciate y'all tapping in. But, yeah, keep your eyes peeled. UFC 330 picks are on the way. And if you haven't already, go show love to the Mount Rushmore video that we dropped on Islam Makhachev. Obviously, breaking the UFC, being the #1 pound-for-pound guy. We debated who the other 3 are. Y'all, let's get to 1K so we can donate. Hey, man, slowly but surely. Sherm, we will make it there slowly but surely. We appreciate your support, man. Thank you so much. But, yeah, we can't wait to see y'all next Sunday. We'll have a recap stream for 330. But until then, man, go ahead and peace out. We'll catch y'all. Peace.